You're listening to Horsemanship, Growth, and Gratitude with Miranda and Horsemanship, where we discuss training wins and fails, mindset, personal growth, and everything in between. So grab your favorite cup of coffee or reins and let's ride. Hey there, it's Miranda Allen, and welcome back to Horsemanship, Growth, and Gratitude. We can all agree that horses are magnificent creatures because they are so huge, fast, and powerful, which can also make them very intimidating and scary at times. Competing on horses can be extremely nerve-wracking even for the most experienced riders, because not only do you as the exhibitor have to remember all the patterns, your cues, your timing, while all remembering to breathe and staying balanced, but you also have to do it with a 1,000-pound animal who has a mind of their own. If you have ever been in the show arena, you know how quickly things can go south. Like the photographer crouching down to take a cool shot, and your horse is wondering all of a sudden, why did they just morph into a predator ready to attack? Or another horse turning into a runaway 1,000-pound ping pong ball. That's always fun. Maybe it's bulls banging around in the chutes next to the alleyway. Oh, and let's not forget the time that the helicopter landed right next to the trail course right before it was my turn. Yeah, that was a great time. This whole time, the best advice you get is just breathe. Listen, Linda, I am breathing all right. I'm breathing fire at this point. And unfortunately, you will face these kind of situations with horses. But I'd also be lying if I said I didn't enjoy the challenge of it, which I'm sure many of you feel the same. Today, I thought I would share some tips and insights that go just beyond just breathing, but also understanding the nervous system and regulation, and especially when it comes to our bodies and how we can use that to our advantage when working with horses. First things first, that annoying just breathe. The reason why it's actually kind of important advice is because it is so common to stop breathing when you get nervous or scared. When we start holding our breath for too long, our body starts conserving what little oxygen is available, and it's going to stay in our core, not our brains. We need oxygen to our brains to make clear judgment calls. Have you ever went into a show arena on stage or performed in front of a crowd and you do the goofiest things, and then once you're done, you're like, why did I do that? Like, what was I thinking? Well, my question is, were you breathing? You probably weren't as much as you thought you were. One of my favorite silly tips to tell somebody who is nervous is to sing happy birthday to someone or their horse. Why? Because it's a song that, for one, you're not going to forget no matter how much lack of oxygen your brain currently has. And it requires a lot of big breaths every few words. Go ahead, try it real quick. Pay attention to how it influences your breath. Now, taking a look at our breathing and how it contributes to our nervous system. Did you know that you can impact the speed of your heart rate by how you breathe? To speed up your heart rate, it's all about the inhale. When you breathe in, your diaphragm moves down. This effectively lowers the floor, making the room around your heart much bigger. The science is because there is suddenly all this extra space, the pressure inside your chest drops. The effect is your heart actually expands a little bit because it finally has room to stretch out. And the result, since the heart is now larger, the blood inside slows down like a river widening into a lake, and your brain sees this slow blood and says, hey, we need to pick up the pace, and this signals your heart to speed up. Think of a time when you last got spooked bad and your adrenaline was spiked. I bet you were breathing pretty fast and your heart was racing, wasn't it? To slow your heart rate down, you want to focus on having longer exhales. When you breathe out, the diaphragm moves back up. The floor of the room rises, making the space much smaller. The science is this creates pressure. Your lungs deflate, and they, along with the rising diaphragm, literally crowd the heart. The effect is this squeeze. This squeezes the heart, making it smaller. Now, the result is because the heart is now compressed, the blood inside gets squirted out faster. It would be like putting your thumb over the end of the garden hose. Your brain detects this high pressure squirt and says, whoa, too much pressure, slow down. It sends a signal through your vagus nerve, which is your body's natural brake pedal, to slow your heart rate down. If you find yourself in a position where you want to calm down, you're going to need to want more squeeze time. That's why long, slow exhales are the hack to lowering your heart rate. You're basically holding down the brake pedal. But that's not all. How you breathe in and out are just as important as breathing, especially when you're looking to get the most out of your oxygen intake and heart rate control. You need to breathe in through your nose and exhale out of your mouth. Why? Think of your nose as a high-tech laboratory and your mouth as a pressure valve. When you breathe in through your nose, you aren't just getting air, you're giving it a VIP treatment. Your nose warms it up, scrubs it clean, and this is the cool part, it adds a special gas called nitric oxide. This gas acts like a key that unlocks your blood vessels so they can actually grab and use the oxygen that you are inhaling. If you breathe through your mouth, you're skipping the prep work and getting raw, dirty air that your body can't use as well. But when it's time to breathe out, switching to breathing out of your mouth is like hitting a super chill button. By exhaling through your mouth, especially if you purse your lips like you're blowing through a straw, you create back pressure. This pressure keeps the tiny air sacs in your lungs open a little longer, helping you dump more carbon dioxide and signaling your brain to instantly drop your heart rate. So the short version is breathe in through your nose for high quality air and out of your mouth to hit the emergency brake on your stress. Now you don't need a dramatic event to practice this or benefit from it. The next time you get slightly annoyed or frustrated, it could be stuck in traffic at work or anything really, and you feel yourself getting worked up, try these breathing techniques and notice how your body responds. Just like anything, the more you practice it, the more second nature it becomes, and you'll be more likely to use it out of habit of remembering your breathing exercises when you are in a high pressure situation. And your horse will also thank you because whether you realize it or not, when you get nervous, you tense up and your whole body becomes stiff and your balance becomes worse and your cues and your timing become way off. I bet that a majority of the issues that riders face with their horses, whether it be in the show arena or out on the trails, is actually 100% created by the rider making a mountain out of a molehill, and the horse, being a sensitive prey animal, of course, is going to respond accordingly. But I don't want to stop there. There's actually another little chunk of information that is, I think, very important because it was a huge game changer for me once I learned about it, and I really wanted to share it with you. And that is about butterflies. Yes, you heard me, butterflies. Think of the last time you got butterflies in your stomach. It could have been before a show, a date, a test, or a presentation. Doesn't matter. What did they feel like? Was your heart racing? Did your breathing speed up? Did you feel lightheaded? When this happens, what was your first thought? Was it, oh man, I'm getting really nervous. I hope I don't mess this up. Maybe it's, oh my gosh, I am doomed. I'm going to forget everything. Or was it, woohoo, butterflies? I can promise you by the end of this, next time you'll be saying, woohoo, butterflies. I promise. Just stick with me through this really silly explanation. Let's first look at the horse, because I feel like when we understand how it works with the horse, it makes a lot more sense for us. Horses are called hindgut fermenters. That means that their digestion starts further down the line in their large intestine. Unlike other animals such as cows who are foregut fermenters, and they have multiple chambers in their stomach which allow digestion to start a lot further upstream. Horses, being hindgut fermenters, the advantage that they have is that when danger pops up, horses can actually flip the switch to stop digestion. And this allows them to conserve energy, and they can just take off and run away from a predator with a belly full of food without it being an issue. And here's the connection. Humans are also hindgut fermenters. And those butterflies you feel in your stomach when you get nervous, guess what? That is just the blood leaving your digestive system. Because you too unknowingly flipped the switch to stop digestion because something important alerted your nervous system. This is a good thing. What's really going on is your body recognizing that an event, whether it be a horse show, an exam at school, a car crash, doesn't matter. This event is an important situation that you need to be fully present for. The butterflies are just the first thing that you notice, which we now know is the blood leaving our digestive system. But that racing heart, that's also part of this whole situation. That's your heart trying to quickly move the blood away from your intestines and around to the parts of the body that needs it the most to trigger your fight or flight. That head rush you feel is just excess blood flowing to your head so you can better focus on the event at hand. Sure, too much at once can make you feel a little woozy, but give it a few minutes and it'll pass. That excess blood also flows to your arms and legs so you can fight with your hands or run fast with your legs to protect yourself. Here is the key. Your body doesn't know when an event is important to you is a good or a bad thing. Those butterflies and all the other body changes are going to be the same, regardless if it is a positive and exciting event or a negative and dangerous event. Your body cannot tell the difference between a fun horse show or a car crash until you give it the meaning with the story that you are telling yourself. Of course, a car crash is bad, and I'm sure the story you tell yourself about that event will reflect that. However, I have seen so many people, especially youth, at horse shows feel butterflies, then go off on their social programming of their other friends that butterflies are bad. Then they start freaking themselves out and telling themselves a story that they're going to mess up, that their horse is going to misbehave, that butterflies are bad. And before they even leave the warm-up arena, they've already lost. And of course, the horse is 1000% going to read off that energy and act accordingly. Now, after knowing this, when I feel butterflies in my stomach, I say, oh yeah, my body knows what's going on and that this is an important event to me. And I can use my conscious mind to tell my body, hey, this is a good, positive event. This is a good thing. And my heart, I know, is just trying to move the blood around so I can be more athletic and more coordinated, and my timing is going to be better. My brain is getting more blood, and because I know to breathe in through my nose and out through my mouth, I can get even more oxygen to my brain so I can think even more clearly. Oh, and that feeling of having to run to the bathroom before you go on stage, that's just me getting my nervous pee out, because when my body flips the switch to stop digestion, it also releases any excess weight that may slow me down that I no longer need to hold on to, especially in case if I do need to run. Does your horse seem to take a nervous poop too before loading in a trailer or going to the show arena? Sounds awful familiar, doesn't it? That is hind gut fermenting at its best. Now, do me a favor and think back to that event you recalled earlier when you last had butterflies. Tell me, what do you see now that you can look back at it with a new lens? What did you do correctly? What would you change for next time? I really hope these tips helped you as much as they've helped me over the last several years. And please leave a comment or send a message on how it changed your experience for the better next time. Thanks for tuning in to Horsemanship, Growth, and Gratitude with Miranda and Horsemanship. If you've enjoyed this episode, I'd love for you to follow the podcast, leave a review, and share it with a friend who loves horses as much as we do. And while you're at it, be sure to check out my website, mirandaallyn.net, that's ALLYN, to stay updated on the launch of my upcoming products, including Essentials of Horsemanship. And until next time, remember, horsemanship is in the details, and butterflies are a good thing.